Russian, Moscow, 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 Moscow. The Russians, Moscow, the Russians, Moscow, Russia, Moscow, the Russian, Moscow, Russia, Putin, Russia, Russians.